Listen carefully. Nothing outside you was designed to be stable. People shift, power fades, loyalty expires, and comfort lies. If your inner world depends on any of it, you will always be vulnerable. Machiavelli knew the unshakable man is not loud, not reactive, not emotional. He is anchored. Anchors do not chase storms. This is where inner control begins. You decide that your center will no longer be negotiable. No insult, no praise, no loss, no victory gets permission to tilt you. Weak men react. Solid men respond. This is not emotional numbness. It is command. You do not kill emotion, you discipline it. Most men break because they are hollow, chasing validation to feel weight, chasing reactions to feel alive. Dependence is the crack pressure always finds. Remove dependence and pressure becomes irrelevant. From now on, you stop explaining yourself to the unqualified. You stop performing for approval. You stop tying your identity to outcomes. Your power comes from consistency, not applause. When chaos arrives, you slow down. You observe. You endure. You adapt. If this decision resonates, comment now. I am unshakable. This is Machialogy, and this is your first step toward becoming solid under absolute inner control. Number 2, where reaction ends, control begins. Inner control is forged when you stop negotiating with impulses. Every urge to react is a test. Every temptation to explain is a trap. The world provokes to measure you. When you answer too quickly, you reveal leverage. Silence denies leverage. Delay creates advantage. Machiavelli's lesson is simple. Mastery begins where reaction ends. You do not win by striking first, you win by striking last, precisely, without emotion. This requires daily restraint. You train yourself to pause, to breathe, to watch the pattern forming before you move. While others burn energy proving themselves, you conserve it. Energy conserved becomes pressure applied at the exact moment. That is control. Discipline is not a mood, it is a system. Sleep, routine, solitude, and standards hard enough to offend weaker minds. You guard your attention like territory. What you feed grows. Feed outrage, and you become predictable. Feed focus, and you become dangerous. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means ownership. You choose what enters your mind and what leaves without permission. Insults pass through you. Praise passes through you. Outcomes inform you, never define you. This steadiness unsettles people because it cannot be read. They push harder, hoping for a reaction. Give them none. Let consistency exhaust them. When you finally speak, your words carry weight because they are rare. Remember this rule: never trade composure for momentary relief. Relief is cheap, authority is earned slowly. If you are building this core, mark it. Comment now, I command myself. This is Machialogy, where control is quiet, power is cold, and the unmovable always decide the end. Carry this practice into every room, every conflict, every silence, until your presence alone stabilizes chaos and signals authority without threats, explanations, or haste, earned through patience, repetition, and ruthless self-honesty under constant internal scrutiny daily. Number 3, severing dependence and building inner spine. Control hardens when you sever the habit of seeking emotional shelter in others. The moment you look outward to be steadied, you hand away your spine. Machiavelli warned that dependence is the most elegant form of captivity because it feels voluntary. You must become self-sustaining at the core. This means learning to sit with discomfort without narrating it, without seeking witnesses, without asking permission to endure. Pain becomes training when it is processed privately. Loss becomes leverage when it is metabolized, not advertised. The unshakable man does not rush to be understood. He refines himself until understanding becomes unnecessary. Notice how quickly people expose themselves under stress. The over-talking, the justifying, the emotional bargaining. Each word is a tell. Each reaction is a map. You learn to read these patterns while revealing none of your own. This asymmetry is power. It is not cruelty. It is clarity. You do not owe transparency to those who would misuse it. You owe precision to yourself. Build rituals that reinforce command, cold mornings, hard standards, promises kept even when unseen. Keep your circle small and your rules simple. What you tolerate trains you. What you repeat becomes you. Remove drama from your decision-making. Replace it with criteria. Ask only, does this strengthen my position, my health, my future self? If not, it is noise. Starve noise. Feed direction. When provoked, slow your breath. When tempted, delay your answer. Time exposes weak intentions and strengthens disciplined ones. This is how you become unreadable. Let them argue with the absence you leave behind. That absence is not weakness. It is gravity. People orbit what is solid. They test it, then they adjust to it. Build a life where your internal order is non-negotiable, where routines are shields and values are borders. Protect your mornings, protect your silence, protect your standards. If this discipline is taking root, pause and comment this phrase: I move with control. Let it anchor the habit. This is Machiavellian, where inner authority is engineered, not wished for, and where the man who governs himself never needs to dominate others to be obeyed, because his steadiness sets the terms before words are exchanged. Number 4. Pressure as calibration, not threat. Stability is not born from comfort. It is carved from pressure applied correctly. Most men avoid pressure, anesthetize it, or outsource it to distractions. You will do the opposite. You will use pressure as calibration. Every challenge asks a single question: how stable is your inner frame? When emotions surge, you do not drown in them. You measure them. You name them. Then you decide. Decision is sovereignty. Indecision is exposure. Machiavelli's code is ruthless here. If you cannot command yourself under stress, someone else will. So you train when nothing is at stake. You rehearse restraint in small moments: the delayed reply, the calm refusal, the steady pace when others rush. This is how you harden your center without theatrics. You stop confusing intensity with importance. Loud does not mean strong. Fast does not mean right. You move deliberately because you have built internal ballast. Your values are not slogans. They are filters. They cut away impulse and leave clarity. You accept that misunderstanding is the tax of independence. Let them misread you. Let them project. Your job is not to be liked. It is to be aligned. Alignment creates gravity. Gravity creates influence without force. You learn to separate signal from noise by asking one question: does this move me closer to my long-term position? If not, it does not deserve emotional bandwidth. Bandwidth is finite. Waste it and you become reactive. Protect it and you become strategic. You replace emotional bargaining with boundaries that require no explanation. You stop arguing with people who want reactions, not resolutions. Silence becomes your audit. Time becomes your ally. While others spend energy managing impressions, you invest it in systems, health, skill, capital, discipline that compound quietly. Compounding is invisible until it is inevitable. That inevitability is what unnerves people. They sense momentum they cannot interrupt. You do not chase certainty, you build resilience. Certainty shatters under surprise. Resilience absorbs it. When plans break, your posture remains. When losses arrive, your tempo holds. This is inner control made visible only through outcomes. You do not celebrate prematurely. You do not despair publicly. You log the lesson, adjust the approach, and continue. Consistency beats brilliance when brilliance cannot be repeated. Make yourself repeatable. Make your standards boringly high. Keep promises to yourself first. The world follows later. If your center is strengthening, mark the moment and comment, "I hold my frame." Let it remind you that composure is practiced, not possessed. This is Machialogy, where solidity is engineered daily, where reactions are optional, and where the man who cannot be shaken becomes the reference point others unconsciously adjust to, long before they understand why. Number 5. Detachment from identity and external tests. Inner control reaches its final refinement when you detach your identity from being tested. Most men live as if life is an exam they must constantly pass in front of others. That mindset creates tension, performance, and fragility. You abandon it. You are not here to prove strength. You are here to embody it. Proof-seeking is insecurity in motion. Embodiment is silence that settles rooms. Machiavelli understood that the strongest position is the one that does not need reinforcement. You stop measuring yourself against people and start measuring yourself against standards that do not move. Standards give you leverage over chaos. Opinions do not. When confronted, you do not defend. Defense implies doubt. You listen, extract what is useful, discard the rest without resentment. Emotional neutrality is not coldness, it is precision. You feel deeply, but you choose carefully what deserves expression. Expression without strategy is leakage. Leakage drains authority. You learn to hold discomfort without converting it into drama. You let boredom sharpen focus. You let frustration harden patience. You let loneliness clarify priorities. This is where most quit, because this phase has no applause, but this is where solidity forms. You begin to move slower, speak less, and observe more. People interpret this as distance. Let them. Distance is not absence. It is positioning. You are no longer available for manipulation because you are no longer predictable. Predictability is convenience for others, not protection for you. You accept that power is often invisible while it is growing. Roots deepen in darkness. The tree does not announce its strength until storms arrive. When they do, you do not bend theatrically. You simply remain. Your reactions become minimal. Your decisions become cleaner. You stop rushing closure. You let situations unfold long enough to reveal the truth. Truth emerges with time, never with pressure. This patience makes others uneasy because it exposes their urgency. Urgency is weakness masquerading as importance. You refuse to be rushed into mistakes, explanations, or emotional commitments. You choose when to engage and when to exit without hostility. Exit is also power. Walking away calmly denies others the control they seek. You invest in yourself quietly. Your body, your mind, your skills, your reserves. Reserves are freedom. The man with reserves does not beg, does not chase, does not panic. He calculates. He waits. He moves when alignment appears. This steadiness compounds into reputation, not a loud one, but a felt one. People sense that you cannot be pressured into shortcuts or emotional bargains. They adjust. If this depth of control is forming, pause and comment this phrase: "I remain unmoved." Let it anchor the shift. This is Machialogy, where inner control is not a mood, but a structure, where masculinity is measured by restraint, and where becoming solid means the world can shake as much as it wants. You will not. Number 6. Control becomes automatic. At this stage, your control is no longer something you actively think about. It becomes the default setting of your mind. This is where many misunderstand the process and sabotage themselves by becoming rigid or arrogant. True solidity is flexible without being weak. Machiavelli's code was never about stiffness, it was about command. You learn when to absorb and when to redirect, when to advance and when to let things collapse under their own weight. You stop forcing outcomes because you understand leverage. Force creates resistance. Leverage creates inevitability. You begin to notice that situations resolve themselves in your favor simply because you are not desperate for resolution. Detachment sharpens judgment. Desire clouds it. You reduce internal noise by eliminating unnecessary choices. Fewer decisions, higher quality. You structure your days so discipline happens automatically and temptation has fewer entry points. This is power architecture. You no longer argue with your lower impulses. You design your environment so they starve. The mind follows structure. Chaos feeds weakness. Order feeds authority. You accept that emotional control does not mean emotional absence. You still feel anger, ambition, hunger, but you do not let them drive. They become fuel, not steering wheels. When challenged, you do not spike. When praised, you do not inflate. Inflation precedes collapse. You keep your inner pressure steady. People around you sense this equilibrium and begin to mirror it or resist it. Both responses benefit you. Those who mirror align. Those who resist reveal themselves. Information appears without interrogation. You listen more than you speak because listening gathers assets. Speaking spends them. You are careful where you invest words, energy, and trust. Trust is extended gradually, revoked cleanly, never emotionally. You do not announce boundaries, you enforce them quietly. Enforcement teaches faster than explanation. Over time, you realize something critical. Nothing actually shakes you anymore because you stopped attaching meaning to external turbulence. Events happen. You respond. You move forward. No inner collapse. No spirals. No self-betrayal. This reliability to yourself becomes your deepest source of confidence. Confidence built on repetition, not motivation. Motivation fades. Systems remain. You do not need constant inspiration because your structure carries you on dull days. This makes you dangerous in a world addicted to emotion. While others ride waves, you cross oceans. You stop chasing intensity and start valuing endurance. Endurance wins wars that passion starts and loses. You begin to choose long-term position over short-term relief every time. Relief feels good today and costs you tomorrow. Position costs today and pays forever. If this level of command feels familiar, pause and comment this phrase, "I govern myself." Let it lock the identity in place. This is Machiavellian, where inner control becomes automatic, where masculinity is measured by self-mastery, and where the man who cannot be destabilized quietly becomes the axis around which unstable worlds are forced to turn. Number 7. When the world starts adjusting to you. Now understand the final inversion. When nothing shakes you, you stop trying to control the world, and the world begins adjusting to you. This is not mysticism, it is psychology. Human behavior bends around certainty. When you are centered, others sense boundaries before you speak. They test less, they push softer, they negotiate internally before approaching you. Machiavelli's deepest insight was that visible force is a sign of weak positioning. Real control operates beneath awareness. You cultivate this by refusing to personalize outcomes. Wins do not inflate you. Losses do not poison you. Both are data. You extract the lesson and move on without theatrics. This makes you unreadable in a culture addicted to oversharing and emotional confession. You no longer confuse vulnerability with exposure. You are selective. You choose when softness serves strategy and when silence preserves authority. You stop explaining your process to people who only care about results. Process is sacred. Results are public. Guard what builds you. Share what proves itself. This restraint multiplies your leverage because scarcity increases value of words, access, attention. You also learn to let people underestimate you. Underestimation is camouflage. While they misjudge your calm as passivity, you are positioning quietly, stacking small advantages that compound. You keep your body sharp because physical order reinforces mental order. You keep your finances disciplined because reserves equal options. You keep your schedule deliberate because chaos taxes decision-making. None of this is dramatic. That is the point. Drama is for those who need to be seen. You need to be effective. You accept solitude as a workshop, not a punishment. In solitude, you audit your standards and tighten them. You remove habits that dilute you and double down on those that harden your edge. You stop seeking permission to grow beyond familiar circles. Growth always offends comfort. Let it. You no longer argue with reality. You adapt faster than it changes. When provoked, you do not react, you record. When challenged, you do not escalate, you evaluate. When an opportunity appears, you move cleanly because you are not emotionally entangled elsewhere. This clarity creates speed without haste. You are solid because you have chosen solidity every day when no one was watching. If this resonates at the bone level, comment this phrase: I am the constant. Anchor it. This is Machiavelli, where inner control completes the transformation, where masculinity is quiet competence, and where the man who governs himself becomes untouchable, not by intimidation, but by inevitability. Number 8. Maintaining the core without decay. There is a moment when you realize the work is no longer about becoming strong, but about staying clean. Clean of emotional residue, clean of unnecessary attachments, clean of impulses that once ruled you. This is the maintenance phase of inner control, and it is where most men quietly decay. They relax standards because things are going well. They mistake stability for permanence. You will not. Machiavelli's code demands vigilance without anxiety. You remain alert, not tense. You understand that power is lost slowly, through small compromises justified as harmless. One indulgence, one explanation, one emotional outburst disguised as honesty. You cut these off early. You audit yourself regularly, not with shame, but with precision. Where am I leaking energy? Where am I reacting instead of choosing? Where am I tolerating what erodes my frame? This self-interrogation keeps you sharp. You do not need external accountability because your internal law is stricter than any audience. You no longer crave conflict, but you do not avoid it either. You meet it cleanly, briefly, and without emotional spillover. Resolution matters more than dominance. You do not need to win arguments. You need to preserve position. Position is everything. It determines what options you have when circumstances change, and they always change. You also learn to disengage from environments that reward chaos. Some rooms thrive on reaction, gossip, emotional volatility. Pressure retained means force when applied. This is why your actions begin to carry disproportionate impact. You say less, but when you move, it shifts outcomes. You become dependable to yourself, and that reliability radiates outward. Others feel it and either stabilize around you or drift away. Both outcomes are useful. You stop fearing loss because you trust your ability to rebuild without panic. Panic is what destroys leverage during loss. You do not panic. You reorganize. You simplify, you advance again. This composure under disruption is what separates men who last from men who spike and disappear. You are no longer impressed by intensity. You value sustainability. You value rhythm. You value progress that survives boredom, criticism, and delay. You understand that nothing external can truly shake you now, not because the world is gentle, but because your inner structure is reinforced. Reinforced by habits, by boundaries, by restraint practiced when it was inconvenient. If you recognize this phase in yourself, pause and comment this phrase: I protect my core. Let it seal the standard. This is Machiavellian, where inner control is maintained, not celebrated, where power is kept sharp through discipline, and where the man who stays solid outlasts storms, trends, enemies, and even his former self without needing recognition or permission. Number 9. Responsibility as the final seal. At the end of this path, you no longer ask whether you are solid, you assume responsibility for being so. Responsibility is the final seal of inner control. It means you stop blaming conditions, timing, people, or history for your internal state. Whatever happens, you own your response fully. This is where excuses die. Machiavelli's cold truth is that power begins the moment you accept that no one is coming to stabilize you. Rescue fantasies weaken men. Ownership hardens them. You stop waiting for clarity and start acting with principle even when outcomes are uncertain. Uncertainty no longer rattles you because you trust your process. Process is the spine of composure. When things go wrong, you do not ask, "Why me?" You ask, "What now?" That question keeps you moving forward while others freeze. You understand that chaos is not an interruption of the path. It is the path's pressure test. You welcome it without drama because it reveals who is pretending and who is prepared. Prepared men do not need perfect conditions. Calm is contagious when it is authentic. Your silence slows rooms. Your posture lowers tension. This is influence without performance. You do not posture dominance. You radiate reliability. Reliability creates trust. And trust creates latitude. Latitude is power. It gives you room to maneuver while others are boxed in by emotion. You also accept the cost of this path. Fewer people understand you. This consistency creates momentum that does not rely on mood. Mood is weather. Identity is climate. You become climate. When confronted with temptation to abandon standards for comfort, you decline automatically. Comfort is no longer seductive because you have tasted self-command. Self-command is addictive in a clean way. It strengthens you without corrupting you. You do not need to dominate others to feel powerful because your control is internal and permanent. This makes you immune to manipulation. You cannot be baited, rushed, shamed, or flattered into abandoning your frame. Frame is law. Law does not negotiate with noise. At this level, your presence alone sets terms. You are no longer reacting to the world is responding to you. If this truth lands, mark it by commenting this phrase: I take full responsibility. Lock it in. This is Machiavelli, where inner control completes its cycle, where masculinity is responsibility without complaint, and where the man who owns himself completely becomes unshakable by design, not by chance. Number 10. Permanence. Nothing shakes you anymore. What follows responsibility is permanence. This is the state where your inner control no longer fluctuates with seasons, success, or setbacks. It is installed. It does not need motivation, reminders, or reinforcement from others. You wake up solid. You move solid. You rest solid. This permanence changes how you perceive risk. You no longer fear loss because you trust your capacity to remain intact regardless of outcome. Loss can take possessions, status, relationships, even years, but it cannot take your center. That certainty is freedom. Machiavelli's final lesson was not about domination, but about insulation. Insulate your inner world and the outer world loses its leverage. You are no longer seduced by urgency. You do not rush decisions to relieve discomfort. You allow discomfort to exist without assigning it authority. Authority lives inside you now. You have trained yourself to endure ambiguity without collapse. While others demand clarity before moving, you move with principles when clarity is unavailable. Principles travel well through uncertainty. This makes you decisive without being reckless. Internal debates are private. External actions are clean. This clarity makes you efficient. Efficiency creates momentum. Momentum attracts opportunity without chasing it. You also accept that being unshakable will make some uncomfortable. Your calm exposes their volatility. Your discipline highlights their excuses. Your restraint mirrors their impulsiveness. Do not soften yourself to make them comfortable. Comfort weakens standards. You are not here to blend in. You are here to remain intact. Over time, you notice a subtle shift. You are no longer surviving pressure. You are using it. Pressure clarifies priorities, sharpens instincts, and burns away the non-essential. You welcome it because you trust yourself under it. This trust is the ultimate reward. When alone, you are steady. When challenged, you are steady. When celebrated, you are steady. That steadiness becomes your signature. Not loud, not advertised, felt. People feel it before they understand it. They adjust their tone, their pace, their demands. They sense that emotional tactics do not work on you. This is true inner control. Not resistance, not suppression, but dominance of self. You have become solid enough that the world can shake violently without moving you an inch. If this final lock has clicked inside you, comment this phrase now: "Nothing moves me." Let it stand as a declaration, not to others, but to yourself. This is Machialogy, where inner control is absolute, where masculinity is grounded authority, and where the man who becomes solid no longer fears storms, because storms only prove what cannot be broken.